And this week, Melania Trump is dropping a memoir. The timing of it is so perfect. October 8th is the release date. It was that like less than a month before the election, right?
Yeah.
One of the main takeaways, and I'm assuming they went through this book with a fine-tooth comb, and really the only thing that I hear people talking about is the fact that the former first lady does not agree with former President Trump on abortion. She believes that women, should have autonomy over deciding their preference for children, based on their own convictions, free from any intervention or pressure from the government. The quote was, "Why should anyone other than the woman herself have the power to determine what she does with her own body? A woman's fundamental right of individual liberty to her own life grants her the authority to terminate her pregnancy if she wishes." Which is a stark contrast to, obviously, GOP Republican views. Now Donald Trump, spoke out about this. I actually liked how he responded to it. When asked about it, he said, "We spoke about it, and I said, you have to write what you believe. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to write what you believe." He told this to Fox News's Bill Malone on Thursday. "She's very beloved. People love our former first lady. I can tell you that. But I said you have to stick with your heart. I've said that to everybody. You have to go with your heart." Now, I don't believe that was the conversation they had. But I think that's how he responds.
Right,
to
that's how he spins it.
And that's probably the best way that he can respond to that. But respect or speculation, man, how do you feel about marriages, right, that may fall on different sides of the aisle? So, like, this, I had thought about this question because of a Reddit I read, and I was trying to pull it up, but I think it's the person removed their account, so I can't pull it back up. But if I remember carefully, the Reddit went to the effect of a woman had looked at her husband's Facebook page. I guess she never really followed him on Facebook like that, and she's the breadwinner in the house. He's not. She supports him. I don't think he worked at all, actually. I think he was in between jobs, and she was at that moment in time going the breadwinner in the household. She had gone on his Facebook page and found that his views were very conservative. He actually was very in support of women being stay-at-home moms. Which is like so weird because he wasn't living that. But if you looked at his posts, he was definitely like strong about that. She felt very blindsided by this. She thought he actually was more liberal when they had met. It led to them getting divorced. I'm assuming they had other issues.
Right.
They broke the camel's back. But I guess my question is, do you think that like marriages could work if it falls on two different sides of the aisle? Should that even be an issue?
It just depends on what those issues are, right? Because in any relationship, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. So in any relationship, you're going to have the issues that are just minor annoyances, like, I wish she didn't do that, or I wish he didn't do that. Then you're going to have the deal breaker issues that, if my partner or wife, husband thinks like this, or is like, I can't mess with somebody like that. So if it's just what we're talking about, the annoyance issues, then yeah, marriage can coexist with that. We all make sacrifices. But if it's a deal breaker thing, then it probably can't last.
Well, what would that be? Like,
so I mean, this is a perfect situation. Like, if the fact that she didn't realize how conservative his views were, I find that hard to believe, because I would assume you guys have to talk and all of these things.
She felt very misled by, because it seems as if he was living in this MAGA world that we live in. It seems as if people were kind of like in everyday life. I don't want to say seem normal, because that's trying to like call them weird, but they'll kind of seem as if they feel very free expressing their views online more than they would in real life. So he might not walk in the office place and be women, but behind the computer screen, he's like, women should be in the kitchen, da-da-da-da-da. And it seems as if he felt very free online, maybe a little bit more free than he did in real life to express those thoughts.
So it seems like, it was a situation where she felt she didn't know this person.
Yeah. I think that was the bigger thing. I think if he would have
been so if that's the case, and we're married, and I feel I don't even know you,
and I'm the breadwinner,
like that's a problem.
Nah, I get it. I think that in this particular case, yes. I think prior to the Republican Party being overran by MAGA, I think it could have worked.
Or let me just say this. I mean, a big issue in any marriage or relation, let's talk about children. If, let's say, when you two first got together, you wasn't in a space where you're like, I definitely never want kids. And so because you wasn't in the mental space, I never want kids. It's not something I'm gonna bring up now, but let's just say 4 years into my relationship, I don't want kids.
Yeah.
We've been in this relationship for 4 years, and now I realize I don't want kids, but you want kids for sure. That's a deal. That could be a deal breaker.
That makes a lot of sense though, because that's like family planning.
But think about it. We've been in there for 4 years, and this never really came up. And so
I think that happens more than we think it does.
No, it does. It does. But that just goes to show, I mean, the communication piece, how important it is in any relationship.
Yeah. No, because I think if that husband in this scenario that we're bringing up was open about it and gave her the right to choose whether she wanted to be there with the person that had these views, she'd have no hill to stand on. But the fact that she felt deceived, I can give her a little bit of, because for me, most political issues are kind of hypothetical, right? So like,
right, because a lot of times they haven't happened, and we're talking about.
So let's use abortion rights, right? It's like, unless your wife is literally pregnant at that moment and you guys are debating what to do, it doesn't necessarily affect y'all day to day. It's like, in the future, possibly we might be in this situation, or family members of ours or friends of ours, gun control. I don't prescribe to either party, but I guess my views would probably lean more liberal if we were to list them all down on a piece of paper. But I believe in gun ownership. I believe in, does that make me a conservative now? I think certain things are just so nuanced. I don't think every Tom, Dick, and Harry needs to have an automatic weapon. Right. But I also you're not going to stop me from getting one. So it's just like, things are so nuanced that to break up over political things seems kind of almost silly unless you're specifically dealing with those issues. Now, like I said, in her situation, I can see that. But I'm assuming in like Donald Trump and Melania Trump, there might be a lot of couples that feel like, nah, I don't want a woman to do this, where the significant other might be like, it's a woman's right to choose. Like, who am I to tell her what to do? Right. I don't think that should be a deal breaker. It's
no, it just depends on the two people, you know, and how strongly you believe in whatever that is.
Yeah. So be upfront about it, though. But the timing of it does seem weird, Melania. Like, you could have dropped this afterwards. You could have dropped this 6 months ago. To drop it a month before, I don't know. Like, certain things just kind of feel like.
Let's take this take on it. It could be strategic from the standpoint, I'm gonna drop this now, and that's going to bring over the women. Like, because they'll see, even though she's not the president, that's the president's wife, and she believes in, a woman's right to choose. So that can make me feel a little bit more comfortable about voting for him because his wife believes in it. Yeah. And maybe she'll talk him into, or some nonsense like that.
But and also, that's a good point you bring, because he's not on the complete opposite side.
Right, he's not.
He's states should choose. So it kind of like, that's a good point. I didn't even think about it from that standpoint. It could be a strategic play to kind of more humanize him.
Exactly.
As opposed to being like, this is policy and this is how it's going to be. Because it's like, there could be a story. It's easy to paint a story where it's like, she did that to like sabotage him. You know what I mean? Or
I don't believe it was that.
Because it's been shut down. I feel they knew this was
exactly. So I believe it's the other part, the strategy to help gain him some women voters.
That's why we got Spec in the building, man. You always bring them new perspectives looking at things, man. Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy holding it down for the Perfect Talk podcast, man. Thank you so much for checking out this short clip. If you like what you see, go check out the full episodes right there. Also hit the subscribe button, turn them notifications on, hop in the comments, baby.